Today is tax day, and that means a lot of you could be receiving a refund soon if you haven't already. And those extra bucks could be tempting to blow on something fun. Who doesn't like to do that? But that might not be your best idea in the long run.
Author of 23 and Debt-Free, Annika Caldwell, is back today to talk about maybe our best move when it comes to tax refunds. Thank you so much for coming in today. And maybe we want to have a little direction on the best use for a tax refund. Where do you start if someone's getting maybe $100 back or $1,000 back?
Yeah, right. So it really does vary with tax refunds. I was looking through some statistics, and they say about 70% of Americans actually receive a tax refund, and the average is right around $2,800. So some people are looking at a pretty good chunk of money. And it's not something that you just want to, like you said, throw away and spend frivolously without giving it some serious thought. And so the word that I've really been using this year is just intentionality. You know, how can people be really intentional with that money and consider it? And like you said, it really does vary in amount, but even a smaller amount can go a really long ways. I had my birthday recently, and I had about $200 that I was trying to decide what I was going to do with. And $200, you guys know, you take the family out to eat, and I mean, you blow it.
Gone.
Right? It's gone. Yeah. I mean, that's maybe like a couple nice family dinners, and that's it. It's gone. And I started putting that into a retirement calculator, and I realized that just that little $200 was going to be like an extra $7,000 to $10,000 in my husband's and my retirement. And I thought, you know, that's another couple really awesome vacations we can take someday, just because I'm going to choose to invest that now.
So look at the future.
Right.
Don't just live in the now.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think splurges are important, right? I think it's okay to splurge. Like you said, a lot of people are going to spend that on some things, and that's okay. But why not take that refund, let it sit, really think, spend at least a week thinking. And if you have a spouse, you know, think and discuss with them, what are my goals? Maybe it's not retirement. Maybe it's making a few extra payments on that car, or paying off a student loan payment. And so thinking about what are those dreams, how can I intentionally save for that vacation, that retirement fund, whatever it is, and being really intentional and really thoughtful about where you put that money.
And, you know, to back up, we've had you on several times. You had a large amount of debt, and you worked on, I mean, that's where the 23 and Debt-Free author comes. Can you give us a personal story as to how you have spent? Did you use your tax refunds for the right reason to get to where you are now?
We actually, throughout our entire debt-free journey, used our tax refunds to pay off our debt. And this year, we're using it to cash flow living expenses because my husband's in law school.
Okay. So intentionality.
Intentionality, considering where you're going to put that money.
And so do you have any, like, if people do want to maybe have a little fun, do you have any, like, you know what, I would maybe recommend 75% goes to something, and 80, you know, do you have any kind of breakdown with that if they're like, well, I want to do something a little bit fun with it?
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a breakdown, but I just say plan your fun. Rather than saying, oh, just this once, I'm going to spend that. Oh, just this once. Just plan it. Be intentional and say, this is what I'm going to do for fun, and this is what I'm going to do to save.
Plan your fun. I like that. I can plan my fun.
I can get around with that.
Like, just like in a diet, right? I love that you said you can still splurge.
Absolutely.
You know, you're not saying no chocolate ever if we compare, you know, our financial diet. Like, it's all with moderation and balance.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today. Always great advice. Intentionality, that is a great word for so many areas of life.
Loving it. Thank you. Well, coming up on today's show, how to naturally cope with your spring allergies.